afternoon. Courtney Scott here with KnowledgeWell Media. It is November the 7th, the day before the 2016 election between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And I just decided today, my heart's a little heavy on the issues that are surrounding our community and our country and the decisions that we need to make in the next day here. So I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different and just kind of speak from the heart about the topics we're facing. There's a lot of things, a lot of misunderstandings. People really, I think for the first time in American history, are more confused as to what the right thing is to do. And I was at church yesterday, actually speaking with an old-time friend, and how she was just expressing the desperation she feels, and she just wants to make the right decision and choice in the candidate. And there are some glaring things that being that she's a Christian stand out to her and kind of influence her decision, but still just that desperation. And maybe you're feeling the same way, because I think genuinely we care about our country, and we enjoy the freedoms, and some of us have even gotten to visit other countries to experience maybe third world situations and go over and try and be a light and an example and spread hope and cheer to other people that are not as fortunate as people of the U.S. And so we realize the importance of getting this right. It's a sad thing, a sad realization to have to face, in understanding that our country for many years, this isn't a decade that we've been through to bring us to this point as American citizens. This has gone on for hundreds of years, and the corruption in the upper echelons of our societies. And obviously the Bible speaks on money being the root of all evil, the love of money, I should say, being the root of all evil. And I think that goes hand in hand with power and wanting to be the most powerful individual or party possible. And so I think it's not just money, because once you've attained the level some of these politicians are at, and upper elite are at, in the billions, you can have all the money in the world, but I think they are chasing more than money now. I think it's more about power and total control. And we know that the Bible speaks about in the last days the one world government, the one world leader, one world religion type situations that are coming. We know this is coming. So this is just, we're coming into that final stage. And so with all of the things coming to the forefront now, I believe that God is allowing things to be exposed, and that exposing of these deep hidden secrets and the hidden things are being brought to light. I believe that God is allowing those that will to see, so that they can make a decision. And we know that God says he sets before us this day life and death. It's always about a choice. And so I believe that God in these last days here he's going to allow those hidden things to start coming to light. All these things, and a lot of the stuff is going to be overlooked and pushed into the conspiracy corner. But when it comes down to it, I don't believe that there is no level the devil will go to, that evil will go to. So we are going to see some strange things coming to the surface. I'm talking spiritual type of manifestations and strange signs in the sky. What do you think the Bible was talking about when he said that men's heart would fail them for the things, that stuff that they see in the skies, and manifestations of certain things and powers and things like that? That's what the word is talking about. Because it's just that time. Man has opened themselves up for so long. I mean, I was listening to actually the podcast today. I think it was Paul Begley's podcast today, and he was talking on this CERN movement and these machines that they're using to perhaps open portals. And I don't know if you caught um, the Switzerland ceremony that they did there to dedicate the tunnel that they had dug, and for I think that was CERN. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, they're just manipulating and experimenting in so many different levels with uh, the occults and things like that. Look at even these WikiLeaks coming forward, showing and potentially implicating the Clintons and Aberdeen and Wiener in these cults, and Jay-Z being involved, and Beyonce, and all this stuff is starting to come to light. And God, I believe, is going to put it right in our faces, and make you then will have to make a choice and a decision based on what God is allowing to come to the forefront. But we're no longer going to be able to just go about life blinded and with closed eyes, and just me, myself, and I type of mentality in this last and evil days. It's not going to happen. There's going to be a great shaking of this world and this realm that we live in. And so, this corruption in government is nothing new. This stuff has gone all the way back, as early as, well, my studies take me back to the 1913 year when the Fed was established, and the rich families got together and they played like games with the the stock markets and things like that, purposely crashing them, bringing them down, and then bringing them up to affect the outcome of the stock markets and people's stability, and striking fear into the hearts of the people to manipulate them and make them purchase or sell. We know about this stuff. This stuff is not new, but it's all on the realization and the effect that you allow it to have, on your lives. So these are going to be very dire times. Now, as far as this election tomorrow, people, you have to understand this election process, these Democrats and Republicans, and this stuff is all planned. It's all staged. If all the research that I've done has taught me anything, it's that we as the people do not win these elections, or selections, if you will. Some people are calling it selection now versus election. We don't win this. I was talking to my wife yesterday. We're having a discussion, and what we came to, and what I came to, as far as my opinion, is that we're essentially in a caste system. Sort of like the Hindu system, I believe, is based on a caste system where you don't necessarily move up levels. You pretty much stay at the level you were born. And that if I liken that to American society, it would be, the low income, the medium income, the high income. You pretty much, we're pretty much, it's very hard to come out of our realm and go up into the elite type realm. Those elitists, those politicians and things in the government, and those that pull the strings, they're up there exclusively by themselves. They know that we will never, you and I will probably, most probably never be in a governmental role in our lifetime. But, those Republicans and Democrats, a lot of them were groomed to be in those positions, selected, if you will. So when it comes to Republican and Democrat, they're essentially playing on the same field. They're on a different level, and they know that. And that's why we question, why do they act like they're not affected by the rules and laws? Why do they impose these laws that seem like, they seem like they don't have to follow? Well, that's because that's their mindset. That's what they know. That's a matter of fact for them. They know these things don't apply to them, that they hand down to us in the civilian sector. And that's just the dirty of it. I mean, but it's it's the truth. And so we continue to play these games. And I'm not telling you don't vote. I mean, I will vote tomorrow, because, I'm an American. I'm a patriot. And, um, you know, I'm going with a good conscience. You know, I'm going with principles, biblical principles in mind. And I know that Trump nor Hillary Clinton are 100% biblical. But I know there are just a few very important things to me, and I think that are important to God when it comes to issues like abortion, same-sex marriage, and I know where God stands with those things. So that's how I'm going to vote with my so-called freedom and my opportunity. But this is neither an encouraging message, nor is it meant to be a negative message in any kind of way. It's just, it is what it is. And so we are, I don't, whichever candidate gets into office, it's not going to change the reality of America. The only thing that can possibly change the reality of America is God Himself. That is the only way. This here, as I've spoken maybe a month ago on this topic in recording, this here is just to show the American people how far they've gone from God. That's what this here is about. Trump, as I've said before, and I'll continue to say it, Trump is not the Savior. He is not the Messiah. He is not the one that we are to look for. That's not what he is. You know, this is a no-win situation either way it goes. The only changing and the only improving of this system is in God, in Yahweh alone. That's it. And if we don't get this right, if we don't, as a nation, especially the believers, if we don't come collectively and get right with God, then it's going to be a steady decline, and we can't go too much further. The wars and rumors of wars, the attacks on our electrical grid, and hacking, all the hacking, they're figuring things out. And the faster we move in technology, the further we get away from God. I believe that I'm actually doing research into technology from its founding, and I'm seeing some striking correlations between the distance, the proximity that we are with God and technology, how it's stepping in between. It's becoming God to us. And I actually am going back and starting with Nimrod. Nimrod was a great, powerful leader, skilled leader back in Genesis of the Bible, and how they had destined in their heart to create, to build, to make themselves a name by building this city and this tower that they were going to ascend into heaven and all that. But like I said, I won't give it all away. I'll be presenting it at another time. But take some time to look into that story, because that is the exact personification, if you will, or depiction of technology, saying that we will build, we will make for ourselves, but that wasn't God's will for them at that time. That's why inevitably God comes down and confounds their language, because He had destined that men go out, spread out, and populate the world, but they had decided that they were going to stay there and build this monumental feat, making this tower and this city. So that's the same thing we're doing. Man is going as far as we can in technology, and even surpassing yesteryear's boundaries and yesteryear's accomplishments. We won't stop unless we are stopped, and God is doing the stopping. I just want you to know today that God is in control. He hasn't lost his hold on His creation. However, the question is asked and was asked today in some podcasts that I was listening to, where is God and why would he allow these things to be, and this confusion and these problems and this corruption? Why would he allow it? And the answer to that is that God said in the very beginning, let them have dominion. He's not going to supersede the will of the people. He didn't do it when they asked for a king, and he's not going to do it now. So it's going to be up to you and I. That's why he said, if my people, in 2 Chronicles 7:14, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray. Read that scripture. That's why he said that. Because it's going to be up to you and I, not Trump, not Hillary. So just wanted to put that at you today, some things to think about. I want to thank you for tuning in. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here. And this is Courtney Scott on November the 7th, the day before the election, 2016. Look for some mighty things to happen, and stay tuned. And keep your ear to the ground and your eyes on KnowledgeWell Media, and we'll try and keep you informed. Thank you for tuning in today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I'll pray for you as you pray for me. God bless you, and don't forget to find God in your day. Thank you.